All right, the book is called Why Me? Let me ask you, why you? Why did have all these things happen to you?
I don't know. I looked up at the heavens and asked that. That was the reason why I love the title. It wasn't my idea for the title. It was Bert and Jane's idea, my co-authors. But I thought that Why Me was a good negative, positive thing because, as I've explained quite a few times, that why me in the beginning was totally negative because every time I'd get angry, I'd look up and go, why me? Why pick on the little guy? And now that my life is done a 360, and it's the best time in the world for me, both personally and on stage, I look up and I say, thank you, Lord. But why me? And it's so positive. So that's the reason for it. That's a dichotomy, but it's a good dichotomy.
What's the biggest surprise in this book? What will people learn in this book that they may not already know about Sammy Davis Jr.?
The depth in which a man can sink if he's not careful, and if he wants to be experimental with life, and if he dislikes himself tremendously. And I think they'll see that side in the book. Because I wanted people to know where I was and what I went through to get to where I am. And I think that perhaps maybe if I can stop one kid from taking a hit, or abusing alcohol, hey man, Sam went through it, and I think that most people know that, hey, they always felt I did. Well, to say it once and let them know I went through it, and it ain't worth the trip, man. It really isn't worth the trip because you pay it back in kind. It comes right back at you.
Is it hard to open yourself up and air your dirty laundry, so to speak?
The only thing that motivates it being done, in my opinion, is, first of all, where's the money going? Most of it's going to my liver institute. The remainder of it's going to my kids. So that's a good motivation on a financial crass basis. The other thing is to be informative so that it becomes a catharsis for you, as opposed to it being painful. Get it out of the way, get it said, get it done. And if it didn't have a positive point of view now, to say it wouldn't mean anything. But to show you that no matter what you go through, if you've got people around you who care about you, and in my case, I had not only the audience, I had most importantly, my family, my friends, they were there rooting for me. And you can get out of it if you're sincere and you want to get out of it. But if you don't want to get out of it, all the centers in the world, all of the psychiatrists, the analysts, they can't get you out. Not unless you decide as an individual, I got to stop this because I'm dying slowly,
In your early years, you were protected against racism by your dad and your uncle. The excuse was they're just jealous because you're in show business. Then when you went into the Army, you faced it head on. Was that a harsh reality for you?
Oh, it's two different worlds. I would imagine it's to be compared to, going out in space without a spacesuit on, because I had all of the isolation. In the old days in show business, there used to be the theatrical hotel, the theatrical restaurant in all of the major cities. So you were insulated, and we traveled as a group of performers because we all got kicked in the butt, more or less, because people would say, oh, here come those gypsies, as they would call us, but we protected each other. But in 44, when I went into the Army, and it's right there in front of you. So the average black man on the street, I wasn't aware that he faced it every day until it happened to me. Because the other guy doesn't even have show business or celebrity to protect him. So it is really the Shakespearean saying, I am my brother's keeper, really is true in the sense we all fight racism in one way or another. But whether you're black, Hispanic, whether you follow the Jewish faith, whether it's religious racism, or if it gets to the kind of violence that we see occasionally that blares up in the newspapers, well, those are the extreme points. But it's on a level down here, gentleman's agreement type of racism, which is what I call it. It's there every day, and you must be aware of it, and you must try to do something about it in a positive way, you know.
You were quite a fiery young man. When did you decide that it was best not to fight this with your fists?
I don't know. It was a long time in coming. I was blessed because I got myself involved with some good people. And then I think that Martin Luther King probably had the greatest influence on me. And until I met him because of Harry Belafonte and Sidney Poitier. Mm-hmm. And we became friends, Martin and myself. And his dignity that he walked with, the inner quiet dignity that the man had, some of it rubbed off. I didn't realize it at the time. And it's only been in the last 12 years or so that I've tried to apply that. It's one thing to go on stage and go, yeah, sing the Candyman, and enjoy what you're doing and know that's what the people want to hear you do. But how do you conduct yourself as a human being? And will people respect you as a human being? Because I've heard it said the opposite. Gee, what a good entertainer, but I can't stand to be around it. You know? And you've heard it too, in terms of probably myself as well as other performers.
Early in your career, and well, for many years in your career, you were very consumed by it. It cost you a lot of things, your relationships with your children, your family. What would you say to an up-and-coming singer or dancer today to make sure that that doesn't happen to them?
Get your values straight. Know what your priorities are. Now, when you're young and it's all happening to you, sometimes it gets cloudy. But if you don't have focus in your life, because when the applause stops and the curtain falls and all of the end of the show comes, only the people who have been supportive of you off stage will be there in your corner. Because there's a funny thing, and I always think about it. You go out and you do a show, and the people cheer you, and thank God that if they like you and you're pleased about it, they go home. And there's an empty space, because if you don't have roots back here to grab hold to it, that'll keep your reality going. You've got to maintain a sense of reality, because if you don't, you'll just float away, because it's all there, it's all floatable. Mm-hmm. So you better hold on, make sure you're anchored to the realities of life, family, friends, the important things in life, whether you're in show business or out. That's what I would say.
Very quickly, Sammy, when you go to that big performance in the sky, so to speak, what lasting impression do you want to leave?
That he was he was a pro, and as a human being, that he was a nice person.
All right. Thank you very much, and good luck with your book.
Thank you very kindly.
Have a safe trip to New York.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.